For years, Hollywood buried a secret beneath the desert dust of Tombstone. The man credited as director didn't actually direct it. The real creative force was the star himself, a move so risky it could have shut the whole production down. Fired directors, on-set chaos, and Val Kilmer's haunting transformation into Doc Holliday. This is the story of rebellion that somehow forged a masterpiece. Saddle up, these are the top 10 weird Tombstone facts that prove this film wasn't just made, it survived.
I'm your huckleberry.
Fact number 10. The director fired for loving the movie too much. The story begins under a searing Arizona sun in the summer of 1993. Cameras were ready, sets were built, and writer-director Kevin Jarre, the man who had spent years obsessively researching Wyatt Earp, was about to bring his dream project to life. But Jarre's passion would soon become his undoing. He'd combed through trial transcripts, personal letters, and newspaper archives, determined to make Tombstone the most historically accurate Western ever made. His script ballooned to 150 pages, filled with layered dialogue, deep character arcs, and carefully researched period details, and studio executives hated it. They called it uncommercial, too slow, too thoughtful. Once filming began, Jarre refused to compromise. He demanded perfection, 20 takes for simple scenes, no shortcuts, no edits. Within 2 weeks, the schedule was crumbling. The studio gave him an ultimatum: speed up or step aside. He refused. 3 weeks into production, security escorted Jarre off the set. Crew members watched in stunned silence as the man who had dreamed this project into existence was forced out. His script remained, but the movie now had no captain, and millions of dollars were burning with every passing day.
Nonsense. I've not yet begun to defile myself.
Fact number 9. Kurt Russell's secret takeover. Desperate to save the film, the studio brought in action director George P. Cosmatos, known for delivering Rambo, First Blood Part 2 quickly and efficiently. But Cosmatos had no connection to the material, no passion, no vision. Kurt Russell, however, did. Playing Wyatt Earp wasn't just another role. Russell had been part of the project from the very beginning, shaping its tone, casting, and story. And he could see disaster on the horizon if someone didn't step in. So he made a radical secret proposal. He would direct the movie, but Cosmatos would take the credit. It was the only way to save Tombstone. Under Directors Guild of America rules, if Russell directed without official approval, the DGA could halt production and trigger lawsuits that might delay or even cancel the release. Behind the scenes, an extraordinary arrangement was struck. Cosmatos handled logistics and served as the public face. Russell called the creative shots, staging scenes, guiding performances, and shaping the tone of the film. Later, he estimated he directed 70 to 80% of the final cut. Everyone on set knew the truth, but no one talked. Because if they did, the film would die. And with it, the only chance this story had to reach the screen. It was a gamble that could destroy careers, or make history.
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear?
Fact number 8. Val Kilmer disappeared into Doc Holliday. While Russell secretly steered the ship, Val Kilmer was vanishing inside his character. To become Doc Holliday, he didn't just perform, he became the man. Kilmer spent 6 months researching the historical Holliday, studying 19th century Southern dialect until it became second nature. He devoured medical journals on tuberculosis, determined to capture the physical reality of a man being eaten alive from the inside. On set, Kilmer took things even further. He intentionally altered his breathing to sound like lungs drowning in fluid. He moved with a deliberate, painful slowness, and he lost weight to appear gaunt and ghost-like. And then he stopped leaving the role. Between takes, he stayed in character, coughing, pacing, muttering, isolating himself from the crew. Imagine standing across from him, watching the line between actor and character disappear. Even Russell admitted there were moments he forgot he was speaking to Val Kilmer. It was as if Holliday himself had stepped out of history and onto the set. That obsessive commitment paid off. Kilmer's portrayal wasn't just praised, it was unforgettable. Critics hailed it as career-defining. Audiences couldn't look away, and his performance turned a supporting character into the beating heart of the movie.
You're Daisy if you do.
Fact number 7. The woman who saved Wyatt Earp's soul. During test screenings, audiences had one complaint: the romance. They wanted more gunfights, fewer love scenes. Studio executives listened and nearly cut Josephine Marcus from the movie entirely. Kurt Russell refused. Without Josephine, he argued Wyatt's story would be hollow, a tale of revenge without redemption. Josephine wasn't fiction. She was a real woman, a Jewish actress and performer who became Wyatt's partner after the events in Tombstone. In the film, she represents possibility, the chance for Wyatt to leave behind violence and build a future defined by love instead of bloodshed. Imagine Tombstone without her. Wyatt Earp becomes just another gunslinger chasing vengeance. With her, he becomes something deeper, a man wrestling with the life he's lived and the one he still hopes to build. That emotional core transformed the film from a shoot-'em-up into a human story that audiences could feel as well as watch.
If we pulled those stakes and just moved on, then we could stay on the move, just keep going, see the world.
Fact number 6, a signature line that nearly vanished.
I'm your huckleberry.
One of the most unforgettable moments in Tombstone almost never made it into the final cut. The now legendary line where Doc Holliday steps forward, looks his enemy dead in the eye, and drawls, "I'm your huckleberry."
I'm your huckleberry.
Studio executives hated it. They argued that 19th century slang would confuse modern audiences. They pushed for something cleaner, simpler, and more direct, a line that would land without explanation. But Val Kilmer and Kurt Russell fought to keep it. That phrase wasn't just colorful dialogue, it was character. In the 1800s, "I'm your huckleberry" meant I'm the right man for the job. A confident, almost playful challenge that revealed layers of Holliday's personality. It showed his intelligence, his arrogance, and his willingness to face death with a smile. Cutting it would have stripped the character of one of his defining moments. The line stayed, and its strange, old-world charm became a signature moment, proof that audiences don't need everything spelled out for them. Authenticity, even when it risks confusion, resonates deeper than anything manufactured for mass appeal. Fact number 5, the most accurate gunfight ever filmed. Hollywood had told the story of the gunfight at the OK Corral countless times before. None of them got it right. Tombstone did. Using trial transcripts and eyewitness accounts, the filmmakers reconstructed the 30-second battle with near-forensic accuracy. The positions, the order of shots, even the weapons, all matched historical records. Now imagine it. The dust swirling, the air electric with tension, and in less than half a minute, the fight is over. It's not the stylized ballet of bullets Hollywood usually serves up. It's messy, chaotic, and horrifyingly fast. A violent burst of reality that feels more like history than entertainment. That commitment to truth made the violence feel heavier. These weren't nameless outlaws in a fantasy. They were real men, and they died in a way that felt brutally authentic.
You're right. It's nothing like I thought.
Fact number 4, the $60 million rival that lost. While Tombstone struggled with chaos and secrecy, Kevin Costner was filming Wyatt Earp, a 3-hour, $63 million epic backed by Warner Brothers and built to dominate awards season. Critics predicted Tombstone would be a footnote. They were wrong. Tombstone hit theaters first in December 1993, and audiences loved it. It earned $56 million domestically and built a passionate fan base. Wyatt Earp arrived 6 months later and collapsed, earning less than half that amount. Why? Because Tombstone understood something Wyatt Earp didn't. People don't want lectures, they want stories. It balanced authenticity with energy, depth with momentum, and history with myth. And here's a chilling thought. Imagine if Costner's film had released first. Tombstone might have vanished before anyone even knew it existed, and one of the greatest westerns ever made could have been forgotten entirely. Fact number 3, the town that claimed the film. The real town of Tombstone, Arizona had watched Hollywood distort its history for decades. But when they saw Russell's version, something shifted. Historians praised the detail and accuracy. Descendants of the Earps and Clantons joined local celebrations. Tourism exploded. Fans traveled from around the world to walk the same streets they'd seen on screen. Today, reenactments of scenes from the film are a cornerstone of the town's identity. Tombstone didn't just depict history, it revived it, transforming a fading legend into a living story that continues to shape the town's future.
I want your blood. I want your soul.
Fact number 2, the ensemble that refused to phone it in. Tombstone could have been a one-man show. Instead, it became an ensemble masterpiece. Sam Elliott brought stoic authority to Virgil Earp. Bill Paxton infused Morgan with warmth and vulnerability. Powers Boothy's Curly Bill was magnetic and unpredictable. And Michael Bihn's Johnny Ringo matched Kilmer's Holliday in raw intensity. Each performance felt real, as if these people had stepped straight out of the 1880s. That depth is why the film remains endlessly rewatchable. It's not just about Wyatt Earp, it's about a town, a brotherhood, and a collision of wills that shape the destiny of the American West. Fact number 1, the secret that saved everything. And now we return to the secret that started it all, the hidden truth that could have destroyed Tombstone before it was ever released. George P. Cosmatos received the director's credit, but behind the curtain, Kurt Russell was quietly steering the ship. If the Directors Guild had discovered the truth, the production could have been shut down, lawsuits filed, and the film buried in legal limbo. So they lied, they hid, and they built a system that allowed Russell to craft his vision without interference. Only after Cosmatos' death in 2005 did Russell finally reveal the truth, and cast members confirmed what everyone on set already knew. That deception saved Tombstone, and it gave Russell a creative freedom most directors only dream of. That freedom turned a collapsing production into one of the most beloved westerns of all time. Tombstone didn't just succeed, it revived a dying genre, reminded audiences why stories of justice and redemption still matter, and proved that sometimes the greatest legends are forged behind the camera.
Bitch! No!
But if you think this story is wild, if you think Tombstone was chaos, wait until you hear what happened next. Because halfway around the world, another Western was taking shape, a story set far from the American frontier, a production so dangerous it nearly collapsed, a film where survival itself became part of the plot. Tom Selleck traded his detective badge for a sharpshooter's rifle and stepped into a project that would test every limit, from the brutal Australian outback to the edge of cinematic sanity. That story, with bigger risks, harsher conditions, and stakes higher than anything in Tombstone, is waiting in Quigley Down Under. Click now and discover why the wildest westerns don't always happen in the West.
Said I never had much use for one. Never said I didn't know how to use it.